As of recording this video, I turn 19 tomorrow. And as of releasing this video, I'm 19 years old. So here's 19 lessons that I've learned so far. And if you are 16, 17, 18, 19, I'm sure these lessons would be beneficial to you as well. My videos are about 20 minutes long. I don't know why. It's not that I planned for it to be that long. It's just that long usually. And I'm going to try and split this into two parts, psychological aspects and social aspects, which is the two main fields I've learned a lot from in the past few years. So without further ado, let's just start. Number one, limiting beliefs. You have nothing to lose. That's just the truth. As you get older, you're being dumped with more and more responsibilities. You got your job, you've got a family, and maybe or you're in a relationship, and all these stuff start weighing down on you. But when you are, in your teens, you have nothing to worry about. You got school homework, and you get your ass beat if you don't do your school homework. But that's it. That's literally it. But what do you have to lose? You can't even go to jail in most countries, right? You have nothing to lose. So that is one thing I've learned, that right now I can just whack. Whenever my friends ask me, I'm a little bit afraid about this, I'll just tell them, bro, just whack. And I'm a hypocrite by giving out this advice because I feel like there's this fear in all of us that prevents us from moving forward. And all you gotta do is just gut it down and just move forward. Just whack, especially, if you're in your teenage years right now. Number two, people really care about you. Two people in the world care about you. That's your mom and that's your dad. Your brothers, maybe they still care about you, but not as much as your parents would. Your friends, maybe they care about you, but not as much as your parents would. They wouldn't sacrifice themselves for you. They wouldn't jump in front of a bullet for you. The only two people in the world that genuinely care about you is your mom and your dad. Other than that, all the problems should not be shared with anybody else because nobody cares. Literally nobody cares. And what's going to happen if you start sharing out these problems to the general public? Because I made this mistake before. When I was in secondary school, I traumatized. And what I did was that I was sharing all my traumatic experiences with my classmates. And with that, none of them gave a shit. All of them, what happened was that they just had their status, their perception of me just lowered. They just think I was more stupid or like some autistic child. So yeah, do not share your problems with anybody. Nobody cares except your parents. Number three, embrace your uniqueness. Everybody is unique to a degree. Your iris and my iris is different. Your fingerprint and my fingerprint is different. But if we just separate out the physical features, mental capabilities wise, we're also different. You may be good at math. I suck at math. I'm good at fixing stuff. See this table over here? I built that shit from scratch, bro. I may be good at that. You may not be good at that. I don't know. You may be as well. But it's not just the psychological and the physical aspects. It's also our experiences. All the experiences that's happened to you, the exact combination of experiences that's happened to you, has never occurred to me before. It probably never will. And the stuff that's happened to me before will never happen to you. What the stuff I learned, my experiences. I went out fishing, I climbed the school compound, learned copywriting at the age of 17. I started YouTube at the age of 18, experimenting around, learning about psychology, reading books, specifically these books, meet certain people through just talking to them. You're not gonna meet the same people, you're not gonna have the same experiences as me, and I will not have the same as you. So all you got to do is just leverage on this. You gotta understand that everything that's happened to you right now is this experimentation phase. We are currently in this experimentation phase where all we need to do is just explore and let go of any limiting beliefs, like I said in the first point. Just embrace this learning experience. Embrace this uniqueness. You are your unique physical features, mental strengths and weaknesses, experiences, and belief systems. These are all you, and it's different from everybody else. And these four will be completely different from anybody else in the world. You will never be the same as another person, and he has never been the same as another person before in the past, and he will never be the same as anybody in the future. Number four, everything is a value exchange. Actually, you know what? I'll move number four to the back because I feel like this is a social thing. Number five, you actually have two minds. You have the two minds constantly arguing with each other. Number one is your animal mind, and number two is your human mind. So the animal mind helps you with surviving now. I'm hungry now. Okay, I'm gonna eat now. Oh shit, there's a tiger chasing me. I'm gonna run now. I'm gonna pump adrenaline into your veins now. That is the animal brain. It protects you from now. And the human brain, it protects you from future. It helps you think and make logical decisions about the future. You may think, okay, if I do not do well in this job, if I do not do well in school, I will not get a good job in the future. So I have to maybe skip a bit of sleepiness, so it overrides the animal brain in some cases. I would have to skip a little bit of nights of sleep even though I'm tired to study. I have to spend less time doing the stuff I love so that I can work towards this goal in the future, to benefit me in the future. I have to work towards this goal that will benefit me in the future. But oftentimes, these two don't always go together. The animal mind can sometimes be not good to you. Comes out with all these what if this happens, what if that happens. So this is part of the animal mind, and your conscious human mind doesn't really have much control over that. So I want to introduce you to this one thing that really helped me out, and that is called journaling. Journaling has helped me. It's like a bridge between these two minds. It helps you connect your animal mind with your human mind. It helps you understand it and thus be able to control it. More, the animal mind is like a horse, and you're like the rider. Your human mind's like the rider. It has not much power. This thing has all the power, but this thing has the control. So all you need to do is find a way to control the power, the horse, as the rider. And that's what journaling comes in. Journaling helps you understand why you do the things that you do and how you can prevent stuff like this happening in the future, or you can redirect the energy. Going on. Channel your shadow. It's like a river. So every one of us has this thing called a shadow. This idea came up from this psychologist called Carl Jung, the Swiss psychologist. I can't remember in what year, but roughly in a few second definition, every human being has evolved from animals. And animals, they just act the way that they want to act. But as human beings, we have to be more civilized. Certain things that's not accepted in the social realm. So what we do is that we dumb down these what we call intrusive thoughts. Dumb down these intrusive thoughts. And eventually all of that gets condensed into a little dark ball, and that is your shadow. It's all the desires that you have suppressed. That is all the emotions, skills that you have suppressed. For example, you really enjoyed playing the piano back in the past, but then you were told, no, you can't play the piano, you need to do more math. So you may have suppressed the skill in that case. Instead, you went over to doing math. And the person who has suppressed, the more effort that they have put into suppressing their shadow, the darker and the denser it is. That's what Carl Jung said. And oftentimes this shadow comes out in times of when the animal mind is activated, when there is a anxiety-inducing situation or fight or flight response is triggered. With that, all of your shadow personality comes out, which is usually the direct opposite of who you are. And you would always have the saying, something came over me. That's what something is. The only way you can fix that is to redirect the energy into something else. And I'm not saying venting, those rage rooms like they swing the bats, I think that's retarded. So what I believe really should be done is number one, journaling. Helps you connect why you did something with why you're feeling something and logically write it down for your human brain to understand. And number two, you should push that energy towards your purpose. Purpose is something conjured, which is the next point, I believe. Yes, indeed. You may feel like sometimes that you are being forced to do something and you don't want to do it. And you have this rebellious energy. That is your shadow speaking. Your shadow doesn't want to listen. Your shadow is, you may have suppressed a certain feeling back in the past that's enabled the shadow to grow. But I can't really explain much about it in this short video. So instead, I'll just give an example and then we'll move on. The shadow is all the suppressed emotions that you have, and it comes out during a fight or flight response. You may feel some resentment when somebody tells you to do something and you don't want to do it. That's one aspect of your shadow speaking. And you can use that energy instead of being like frustrated in doing some half-assed work. Instead, you can channel the shadow into working towards something that you want to do, into your purpose. Let's say you wanted to train especially hard today, but you have a tuition lesson today. And you're like, oh, god damn it, bro, I gotta go for tuition. So you may channel that resentment into the workout. You may have an even better workout. I'm not saying to vent, I'm saying to redirect the energy. You can't block a river, but you can redirect the current. Number 7, quit your bad habits right now before it's too late. Now, you know how habits work, right? I want to imagine this, like there's a stone and there's like water constantly dripping on the stone. And you see on that Nas Daily video, right? Water hits a stone, nothing happens. Over time, there'll be a massive dent in the stone. And that's when habits become difficult to grab. Once the water reaches a certain point and there's like a little curvature, that's when a habit forms. action is repeated over and over and over again until it becomes ingrained into your system. You must do it now. So that is like the curvature. And if you don't cut the bad habits off while the curvature is low, it's going to keep eating into the stone. And eventually the stone's going to fall apart. We do not want to get to that part. So we're going to like move the rock away from the action or turn off the tap of the stone. Turn off the tap that's pouring water onto the stone. That's what I mean by cutting off bad habits early. Now you may be playing video games. I still do occasionally, but I don't feel addicted to it anymore. But once you get this habit into you, you're already feeling a lot of difficulty, a lot of friction in pulling back against these bad habits. But imagine you keep going at it again and again in the future. And the stone is going to get carved more and more and more until it's literally part of you. You cannot quit because it's already long ingrained into you. You spend the past 20 years with this addiction, with this habit, and now it's stuck with you. You don't want that. Cut it off early. 16, 17, 18 years old right now. It's still early. There's probably a small curvature in the stone already, but you don't want it to be even worse than that. So cut off the bad habits. Number 8, win through your actions and not through your words. This is actually a law from the 48 Laws of Power. I think it's law 11, I can't remember. But what it states is that your actions speak louder than words. Words is just a way of conveying information. I can tell you something. I can tell you that it's raining outside, but it's not. But when it is raining outside, it is. I can bend information with my words. I can craft realities with my words. But the reality will still remain the same. I can craft a false reality with my words. But that won't change what the reality is. So, with that said, I would avoid trusting words. I've seen a lot of people say, oh yeah, I'm going to show up, and they never do. When you're meeting a friend or something like that. You can tell sometimes. And look at their actions. When they're looking away from you and they're like trying to brush you off. It's like, hey bro, want to come for this? We're going to the beach next week. You want to come? And bro will be like, yeah, sure. Start looking at you. He's not really giving you much attention. You can kind of tell, nah, he's not going to show up. So literally look at the actions, learn the body language rather than the words. And it's also why I hate texting. A little bit of a side point. I'm just going to extend the video a little bit longer. But I hate texting because people can't tell what I'm doing. People can't tell my emotions, my facial expressions, my hand gestures when I'm on text. So what they see is only the words. And you know, words can have same words can mean a lot of different things. I didn't steal the cookie from the cookie jar. I didn't steal the cookie from the cookie jar. I didn't steal the cookie from the cookie jar. I didn't steal the cookie from the cookie jar. I didn't steal the cookie from the cookie jar. You see, just by changing my tone, which is something you can't do on text, you can already, there's a completely different meaning to it. You get what I'm saying? So words is just creating a false reality. I usually don't trust it. It's only used for like law stuff. It's I consent, or I shouldn't say that, but something like that, you know what I'm saying? So you won't get in trouble. Number 9, you can take hits. Yeah, you are tanky right now. So embrace discomfort. And what embrace discomfort means, it doesn't mean that you should your body can take hits now. And I want to tell you what it doesn't mean. What it doesn't mean is that you go and have McDonald's every single day because you can take hits. Your 6-pack is still there if you eat McDonald's. No, that's not what your ability to take hits mean. In fact, what I mean is embrace discomfort. Last night I slept at 12, bro. But I woke up at 5:30 to script this video right here. We'll usually wake up at 4:30, but bro, I'm not gonna have 4.5 hours of sleep. So yeah. You have the ability to be tanky, you know. You can take hits like this. I'm telling you, you are not gonna be able to sleep 5 hours. Maybe you're 50 years old. You can't take 5 hours of sleep a day. You're gonna get exhausted, bro. You'll be dead, bro. So learn to take hits. You can squeeze more into your day than a 50-year-old can. Moving on. Now we're actually on to the social aspect. I feel like this is already stretching past 20 minutes, but yeah, now we're on to the social aspect. And this is the stuff I learned about making friends, establishing like different hierarchies of your status on other people. Let's move on to the secrets about that.